In China, an old man tried to cross a very wide road, but failed, and a policeman carried the grandfather on his own back. Sometimes even a whole crowd at the same time of strangers can unite for the sake of saving a life. Amazing episode. Dozens of people lifted a subway car to the rescue of a fallen man, whose leg was stuck between the car and the platform. There's room for kindness on the road too. The motorcyclist was going to miss a person with disabilities, but he fell off the wheelchair. How can you stay indifferent? So the biker couldn't. In some cases, kindness is a reaction to evil. A teenager has thrown the river a bag of kittens to drown them, but it was a cyclist who saw it. She didn't hesitate for a second. The girl undressed and dove into the cold water behind the bag and managed to save the kittens. During the floods occurred car accidents, but this man acted instantly without thinking. He heroically rushed to the rescue of the fallen. A woman and her dog fell into the water, and this man rescued 4 people from a sinking car, and this man saved 4 people from a drowning car. A perfect example of a man's caring. A scary episode was caught on video. A guy who risked everything to get a complete stranger out of a burning car was unconscious. It's not immediately clear why this one guy rushes across the girl. Can seem like he doesn't have the best intentions, but he's actually saving her from a car. He can't see because she's busy with her smartphone. A car rammed into a guardrail and fell into the water. Several people came to the rescue. The 87-year-old woman behind the wheel, as well as her son. Rescuers would not have arrived in time, but concerned witnesses to the accident rushed to help and managed to save the victims. It's hard to imagine a situation in which a traffic policeman would tell him to speed up, but that's exactly what happened when the police stopped the motorcyclist and asked him to catch the bus that left a few minutes ago, to return to one of the passengers of the medicine, which she dropped during the stop. The driver was in mild shock for a few minutes, but then he agreed to do it. Every day there are tons in landfills of expired food, and by law, all producers, including farmers, are required to do so, but this man, instead of disposing of overripe fruit that no store would accept, found more grateful consumers who were just in need of food. Most likely, any person who found a wallet even with cash would have thought of embezzling it, but this guy did not hesitate to do exactly the right thing. He brought it to the owner's house and, showing on camera that the contents were there, left the pocketbook on the doorstep. Usually stalled cars are towed in a slightly different way, but it turns out that that's an effective way too. Sometimes life presents us with surprises for which it is simply impossible to be prepared in advance. Someone knows how to save a deer stuck in a crevasse, and yet the man did not leave the animal in distress, and with the help of a shovel and ingenuity released the prisoner. A car often gives us a false sense of security, but in fact, it's just the opposite, and from a fortress, a car can turn into a sarcophagus. This woman already had virtually almost no chance of getting out safely from the rapidly sinking car, and passers-by lined up supporting each other to get her out of the trap. Unfortunately, people with disabilities often face rejection from society, and many have to live with that attitude until the very end. The owner of this fancy, it didn't take much time, but he managed to fulfill a lifelong dream for a guy who always wanted a ride in a Lamborghini. Who can imagine this farmer's despair when all his hard work in 1 minute turned out to be a wreck all along the road? Some were people who cared, came to the rescue in this unpleasant situation. Drivers fenced off the area with the scattered load, and the others helped pick up all the fallen stuff. The video is without sound, and it is not clear whether the woman tells the child what to do, but in any case, at such a young age to save, if not a life, then at least health, it causes respect. Great reaction. That ride could have ended badly for the kid. Check the brakes. A passerby saved a guy who had stopped to tie his shoelaces at the wrong time and in the wrong place. The store clerk noticed in time and realized what was going on with the girl's car. Subscribe to the channel. There are many more interesting things to come.